Yes, Mamma, Premoato, Yamamunina. Or Mamun Samnia, would was the iron saka. And Yabu, one or 2 days, from to breakfast away, and near tiff with Simkuna. What tier for the peace? 104.3 FM's okay. 101.7 neat. 100.9. Let me answer was set past Abaka Johnson a crack. And what hello 101.5 FM Badum Kumasi. Ghana man Tamania doing see a baby out here and Kenny. Casa Fiba said you see and me to the common near Bessa Diasa. PeaceFMonline.com, GhanaToday.com, and so about day a tear for Benya Bay Akan. The Adi Cassia Bonua Kutini His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Only Ghana hand will say we're too quiet. Jamaica Prime Minister and Komotuti Akoso Nyam Komoketua.
We also discussed, and importantly, the Defense Cooperation Agreement, and that would allow us to have exchanges between our military.
Na Akane Tamale Santra Mrasebedeni, and what I say, Mampenia Konya Yadeko in Fiamuno, one of the Awanimpany for Nyatani. Former Deputy AG, and what describe way. Was a Godfrey Yabu Adame, or ye Attorney General Bia, or ye Juma Papa.
Godfrey Dame, or Nipa, or Nimfonso, no so time, Quadua, no in America, or Nipa Bakwa, me Jumona say, so hard working.
Na IES, Womutasa, Abain Edresia, or the Abasa 2 Ghana cities, there's a way you're free swano.
Policy direction like this, I'm more industry, in the long term.
And send me a car, Yenamuna, fast that menu McCoy.
Yet I said, Emma MTN, baby, I yellow. Send same card, MTN, I did Jumadia, Yake, she coswe. Nabe who say a sweat, papa. Midinana. Ama anotu for a year minute.
Or he no work as a boy hand afe.
A man signed to me, Quabinamafo.
Afe Cassia Bonemunchemu any. None more than yes, yes, ye did to him. As a Ghana man penny, Excellency John Dramani Mama, when you are my Ghana man penny to pine, what near Chem would Jamaica mino emu. Or man penny, Excellency John Dramani Mama say what Tony Boise, a nefua poly nice, one of my walk up prom, and what Jamaica mino emu. Nancy Mudiama Pelcoso any, and they are better dra, as say one name and swap penny, and what Jamaica mino emu, Andrew Honest, one more issue. Now come on, Mudina doors. Party two, any bambomun semusaso, and a banner pomodon semomushia, etimi edi a home and como. One more trust ya watches education was some somakasam, edi a famuano, and a Ghana man pennis excellency John Dramani Mama Wakasa watches a lady. What Tony Bois yes in Conyesha Jenny B. Your friendly Defense Cooperation Agreement was shared him say betimia basso, edi ama you send ye bay and yonkofano, ye betime ayir musa ben tatitu sebra, or ye na nasa to renchem. Be a no day actually team. Man Penny's Excellency John Dramani Mama Twan and Casam was so kai, say a BBC Jamaica minus Sabio. At Renchama no day pa Hurricane Melissa Trinity. Now when my Ghana ya te na fedie. Aquadani was soon near Rahoni Jadro Trenti. Yes, ma soja force won't copy mo. I war Jamaica man was Sanya Beya. Wo bet me aqua more emwa. Man Penny's were ye wagon at Yassam Pagana dear. A banner were drawn in Tiasia Yajitum Sasso and Yatiasia pa.
We have to activate the bilateral air services agreement between us. It's currently before our parliament, and we'll fast track it so that it becomes operational, so that either national carriers between Jamaica and Ghana or third-party carriers can fly direct flights from Accra to Montego Bay. Today I'm meeting Jamaican business people, and so we'll have the opportunity to discuss some of the investments that are available in Ghana, which they can take advantage of, but gives them an opportunity to reach the rest of Africa. Because of the African Continental Free Trade Area, you are able to produce or manufacture in one country and
Ania Yokoti Ghana man Penny's Excellency John Dramani Mama Mampenia Manesi on Sanso Kasayem, head of African Continental Free Trade Area, and who need your Ditujan Ebini.
Logistical routes were established by the colonial masters. And so if we needed to send something from Jamaica to Ghana, we necessarily had to transship through Europe. If we had to send something from Ghana to Jamaica, we'd have to transship through Europe. Things are changing now. The international trade routes are changing. Because of the issues in the Middle East and things, a lot of big carriers are coming from the Far East and going around the Cape of Good Hope and coming along the coast of Africa, and sometimes continuing towards the Caribbean and America, and sometimes to Europe. So we can take advantage of the changing global trade logistics to be able to create that direct link between us. And so we believe that a link between Africa and the Caribbean would allow the Caribbean to plug into the African Continental Free Trade Area. And I promised Prime Minister that I'll make it one of my ambitions to see how we can open the African Continental Free Trade Area to the Caribbean. And so linking Africa and CARICOM in a big, trade area will benefit all of us.
His Excellency John Dramani Mama Sansam Wigina Yenuaba Salamat Kukwa Pentonet Nasa Troy the best It
has Wajina Ghana His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Ashe Ewo Jamaica Ya Mampeni Akwa Drew. Mampeni si kwa wakoye no wadi nefwa na kwa kaka neni Ewo Jamaica meni mudi wa mai Ghana yeni wonka yentipa mhoni ya ebebwa yen ama wa mai Ghana yenyina kudru mpempenso bi na asanso aboase Jamaica mining grind na wamu soso enyini yen. Asem titiri ba pa mampani se dana koma sa wode koye ayese ye benya wiemhyan a etu ewo man Ghana ha sei Accra International Airport na ekọ akopiem ewo Jamaica na enkosi ewo Jamaica baby akeke ekọ akochina mu ewo Montego Bay eho pa se ka Montego Bay ewo Jamaica eye biaya echi ahoho ne titiri wo ma wo kondo se wo ye adwuma na afeso okita sika de koye akwansere dwumadie ene obehwe wani so ade papa wo mu beach okokoduru wa eho anika na eho efa nkasa adan so aye akono ebi ewo ho eti mampani se ena ni so edi hunu senhye ya mpanifo aye ne na ano no ye ne Jamaica de ne ye beye no ntem so ne yetimenya wiemhyan efinkra hape ekwa koduru Montego Bay na eje frase enso eye atwuma ewo ho afa bio mampani se de ani abre a wo kasa ansem ni nyina ye se koba ne se oman Ghana mpanifo a wonsem ewo bie Dr. Ernest Oforisa Ponsei ena afa yewura ose kwame despite brano wo mo eti sika di si adan ton de mankrofo no wo mo nya kwan saa ekọ Montego Bay ho a wo estate development dwumadie na wo edie no omkwa kosiden akono saa wo ho na madehye nsoso anya biato eninti na ni abere se odi eyesa enkomo no wogina mu ene Jamaica Prime Minister Andrew Holness edi nkomo ewo Kingston eno ye Jamaica mine on ahinkro wose ne wo yen otwetwe Ghana wo ma wonsem wo bia edi dwa eye businessmen any businesswomen adwen edi esese se na no nkomo ampanifo di ye de fa African Continental Free Trade Area after no ehwo na nye nkomo bia keke mampani se bota ye bitachire enti Ghana adwadifo osra wo moda omo hesa sa bota na enkokwa esan se sika ewo mu no se de ehuru mu sa ebetimi aboa yen papa afi wo so man Ghana ene Jamaica man no ye gu pipo so na bibi ewo achire ye famfa so de free mu a ebeboa yen.
We have to activate the bilateral air services agreement between us. It's currently before our parliament, and we'll fast track it so that it becomes operational, so that either national carriers between Jamaica and Ghana or third-party carriers can fly direct flights from Accra to Montego Bay. Today I'm meeting Jamaican business people, and so we'll have the opportunity to discuss some of the investments that are available in Ghana, which they can take advantage of, but gives them an opportunity to reach the rest of Africa because of the African Continental Free Trade Area. You are able to produce or manufacture in one country and export to the other 54 countries. That creates a market of 1.4 billion people with a GDP of almost $3 trillion. And so that opportunity is available, but vice versa, getting Ghanaian investors to look at the opportunities here in Jamaica, in real estate, in construction, and manufacturing, and several other of those areas.
Afeman Penny say. So hwe bibi manya ya wonepa ewo yensa asenemo ya sa nepa no ewo sankaje tumi yi ne ho ba ne enya asomfa so na sika ekoso se ya atam ewo bibi man ahodo mu okane sa wo man Ghana ka ho Jamaica ka ho ena bibi man ahodo ya wo maka nenso kopem se yenyina ye beka yenti apam se bibi man baako na ya so ye hu mu nti de ekode atia Jamaica kode tia wo man Ghana de wo man Ghana ya ebeye yie no ebeye yie enso ma Jamaica man ye nya sa adwen no chance di ye hu dwa edi en ho enkoma wo gidie wa rehemu se sa wo hia ene ahoche no ebefri won yen sikasem ebeyi apie.
This time is not about liberation from colonial domination. This time it is economic emancipation of our people. And we have no option than to work together, bring our comparative advantages together to be able to create the prosperity that our people deserve. And that's why, Mr. Prime Minister, I'm very happy that you've outlined several of the things that we had the opportunity to discuss, bringing Jamaican and Ghanaian business people together. I think that that is one sure way to begin cross-investments between our countries.
Nipa yetini nkan aya Ghana Mampany His Excellency John Dramani Mahama owo Jamaica mine emu sansemi yensencho ni Salamat ku kwa pencil na desumie.
Na adwumadie bi a ekoso wo mo se ya Korea International Cooperation Agency Youth Leaders Program 2026-2027. Na sa adwumadie ya se and head of civil service Dr. Ivan Sagredako etrese ebra so se oman bia emabunu ena yepia wonuma wo frosoro esanse empani se enkokora to sano na eba mrante ediem entim nimde bia esase emabunu enya na eye nimde betumi aboa won kanko ese aboa wonum afei eniama eyensa no dwuma ya ebetumi aboa emabunu enemei na watena wadate enkonkwato apeno nso esese yaboa wonum saa afa nyansa nimnimdiye ya yede keka niam bom edan dania etumi pie dwuma kwa anim teka ne bebi a na ejina no nso ese yede ma mabuni na wotumi ekro na watra se saa koka youth leaders program ise koka fo na nkas wani so ade hunu ne se enkosi 2063 de na wiase babunu bia ni wonmo a wonenam wonom bantere saa kwa woni adwuma ye da bi istanse ni adwuma no bonsambo no paa enti yamu a mabunu eneyi sade be ya daache wobetumi ase mpanimfo anam.
For this leadership and capacity building initiative, towards intents and purposes, aims to equip emerging young leaders with the knowledge, with the practical skills and innovative approaches needed to tackle the complex, as I said, challenges faced by institutions and nations. Sometimes Africa is popular for the wrong reason. We need you to change the narrative by bringing together participants from Ghana, Cameroon, Côte d'Ivoire, Nigeria, Senegal. The program seeks to strengthen regional cooperation, encourage the exchange of ideas because ideas matter, and best practices, promote innovation, and establish lasting partnerships that will support Africa's sustainable development. Africa 2063, the African just wish to work at it. We need to be intentional.
Dear Yate se Okase ye head of civil service, Dr. Ivan Sagredako, na director Emma Coker, Capacity Enhancement Program Team 1 aya Sam Bank League ena watre se Korea International Cooperation Agency womu kromu sa asie wo West Africa anum sei no womu de aman enum ena sa asie sisi a wo pese wo tretre won kwabem edekwa bibiman mu nyina.
In the beginning, that we try to select which country is the best for this program, and also we recognize that in Ghana there is some program for the youth leader program, which called YALI by the USAID. But recently, I've heard that that program is abolished. That's why that we are keep going on and to build the leaders program in the West Africa. So we started from the Ghana, including the 4 Western countries. And in addition to that, we have a plan to expand our program. It has not decided which country will be implied for the next, but for sure that we are trying to our best to expand our program for the other.
The Tese Okase Director Emma Coker, Capacity Enhancement Program Team 1, Sam Bank Lee. Narrator Emma Gempa, Professor Samuel Kubunsu. And what I say, as I say, South Korea for Tuabasakum, na emebunu, nneɛma bi a wɔyɛ mu a aka asɛ te sɛ yɛbɔ obi deliverance a wode wo nsa to nipa korɔ so aka kyɛn sɛ pie ɛsɛ sɛ adeɛ bi a ɛsɛ yɛ mu a ɛmpɛ sɛ ɛbɛpie no ne nyinaa pie na ɛbɛyɛ adwuma.
So bɛyɛ afe ɛkɔ mfie mmienu ɛni saa nneɛma sesa kakra nti yɛne koreafoɔ yi na aka abɔ mu a yɛpɛ sɛ nnɛmafoɔ no yɛtumi ɛka wɔn bom na yɛbie wɔn ani na wɔn hunu nneɛma bi a ɛbɛboa ma yɛman na ɛtumi atu mpɔn kɔ yɛhwɛ sɛnea korea te a yɛne wɔn na ɛhyɛ ase ɛnso sese na wɔn di yɛn nim yɛfa mmabunu yi a na yɛhyɛ wɔn den wɔn ani bɛbie wɔn bɛhunu nimdeɛ a wɔn bɛnya nimdeɛ a ɛwɔ sɛ wɔn tumi de boa heman nti sɛ dwumadi a yɛredie no na ɛso ɛmfa so titiri.
wei ɛyɛ rector Emma Gimpa Professor Samuel Kwaku Bonso Prince Bafo Samuel.
Yakwa ahoma no so akodi enkomo yane kane mrahye bedwene ya ne wosom ewo Temale Central Bato Empesios Yewra inu safu se ne ekobon komo ne nsema wo kansa ne nanu ada no wonya ntie esa abedwoko ayete so man Ghana Constitution 1992 Constitution wonhwe na wondo som na afeso wonfa nsusuye mra no na wo kire se nkebe ya emfrihia nan na yede ma aban bi obetena so yentremu enko mfrihia no no se da bi abane betena so ayen hwese obetimi aye adwuma na wo ye adwuma so a wonye ne ntem so ono abowie akwa aba o
emejo ko so na epom se
nyame adom ne mpai bona so ai
amejo na ko bo ase
honorable proposal ne wo mo se 4 years ne ehwa o 5 na nke beboa o na so woni wo mo nya adwen adan
4 years no and no is a balance between said the young Ghana for even to my train. The government and I mean, modern. We 4 years not a year a waiting period for us to put that government out. It's a balance between that and stable government. And see, all the woman abandon there 1 year, 5 years. It can lead to instability because what see the opportunity to hold that government politically accountable. That's number one. The second thing is say, who are buying now what into government? And say one program, and it should be intentional about the program. It should be purposeful and deliberate in implementing your program. And the who buy with that mentality for you able to accomplish one program. Number 5, reasons there and yet new. The President Kufon last state of the nation. Okasa in Kabaya, Yemma President 5 years. Constitution Review Committee, the mill setting up on the Fiaju Committee, rejected that proposal. So I didn't change here. Number 6, John Dramani Mahama Obai, the reasons for Maya in 2008, and then they say, government ba abemwa, first year no, you see 5 year no, set up the government. You see a campaign, and effectively, government over 2 years. Now, yenina Adede RC and the John Dramani Mahama. Within the first 100 days of setting up the government and the government running, within the first year, what we accomplish never be brave. So if a government comes into office with purpose and vision and deliberateness, it say what we accomplish at the brave. Number 7, don't let us legislate lethargy. The government want to win Juma first year, want to win Juma last year, and the young for 1 year in count. One or catch say the 1 year count, that government in Juma. Where's the evidence? Number C, let's stick with what we know and compel government to do all the programs within the 4 years. And it can be done.
You Ray, baby, I can compare and see yes, a binet as soon as say 1 year Jumano. And no, quite ben swa. Your mouth for near Beshan and I say, I was see the reforms be the ba, na a boy by natidom.
First of all, a combination of reforms. Any young kata. Combination of reforms. Say, yeah, reforms. May I see, a bambia bar within the first 100 days. On setting up the government, and the government must be running. That's efficiency, coefficient. They've been over to my year for us to mark the performance as being efficient and effective. I remember the on contracted loaner. What efficiency coefficients can we give there? We don't take loans more than X amount of money. Don't take loans more than 2 times our GDP. Yes, sir. And we must work within the financial constraints that you work together with your taking loans and see whether you can work. Don't appoint more than 60 ministers into office to be able to run this country. So, it will show us whether, because Yahoo and the Kofo will say, oh, I will appoint as many ministers as I think fit for me to discharge my mandate. So, efficiency in the hall. Efficiency in the hall. Yahoo under Nana Akufo-Addo said, appointing ministers, when we said, oh, but when I say, ministers they were appointed. So let's set indicators that will confine government to some efficiency parameters. And now, it can always we see here for 1 year. I didn't think I am for 2 years. Why don't we make it 6? Why don't we make it 7? If we say that, or we see 2 or 3 years in for campaign and for setting up government, then we should add 2 years more. So because I buy 4 years, 2 years are wasted. So let's replace the 2 years. Why are we not saying that? And we are saying 5 years. And many about 5 years, cumulative 10 years. Menu say government and yard yet. Young waited 10 years before necessary abanona. Before was set while we na juma 10 years. It's just too much.
Now, honorable, no, yes, you want to so any addition be doing commodity any 1 year and 5 years no so. Once some work can say 5 years, Nintia work can say 4 years no. Ya na a buying project who drove your person ya no want to me we until 5 years ne dia buying benya ample timer will bet me every dear my sa for no what is argument na unhune say ne kwa so no na say
constitution no. Constitutional anticipated that data. Constitutional and imposing any obligation on any government to complete ongoing projects. There's no such obligation. But Constitutional say, as much as practicable, succeeding governments must complete the projects of their predecessors. That's not constitutional kind. And I want kind. So I said it has been addressed by the Constitution.
It's so obvious, say, or minor your woman no honorable and bay adrian say, and Pepin will be better now swan, Yanin Shas, yes, or no, one to us who, Intina Marco, he has say, a beach or my dream so, and you will be a ban or beshan dias in young 5 years no.
So that comes up to the primary first in the country. That goes to efficiency. Sikadia, a bambia by use no a one whisker. Yeah, Sika. Until Yamma a buying Emra, Ember will stay a second and starting new projects. Yenim say until we use a new projects. No, now by Fufraba, abandoned 1 month can almost say no. So it's about efficiency. It's about efficiency. On the flip side, no. So we have to argue tonight. And the HRS say, man, to a ban free hot. This is where we no projects in now. So we should extend the term. Instead of 2 terms, let's give 3 terms. Let's give 4 terms. Let's make it indefinite. And you go over one way the projects. That is not what was constitutional name say. A bambia ebe yebi on to me yadina. Now the always succeeding on to us. That a constitutional kind. When you man katamata constitution like that. So I did the Omokano, the constitution has already anticipated that. I mean, our fathers, I did they not almost set out to do, or we are in Nana. I did the one who set out to do, where is my Yadina? David Woho, one Kora, woman, no more to us. So that's it. It's what happens in real life must apply also to government. Then we see. What can you say? Man, we make you one men come. That's exactly what you are saying. Man, we make you one now. We are saying, men come. Everything must have term limits, and the term limits must be reasonable. And particularly in democracy, it must be a balance between how patient the people can be for a non-performing government and how to ensure government stability.
Ewie ya da sepane adaje wenya na wa cheche nsemu ye ede asom ye ne yetiefo nti wasum se kanemra shebedwenim ewo Tamale Central Bato empesias yewra inusa fuseni na enkomotwetwe fa bi eba ne se Constitutional Review Committee no na wo mu hwehwe adwene so nka parliament de yenka po yemfa bibi ntoa no mu akire se ye behia kra MPs no ensi 300 pe ene ya ye kasem wo mu nyina dodo eye 276 na ye se nia ka wo akire betimi esi 300 no eye 24 na ye ka ho asem no ye hia ema ohonom emebunu saso ene nipa wo mu edidem na wenti ne ye san kwa ahoma no so biom na ye kodi ekire enkomo ye ne president ya wada Ghana Federation of Disability Organization yera Joseph Achu ena ekobo enkomo na yahwese ne yesitie President awia kwaba President.
Yes, madam.
Pato akwaba Peace FM so ni akwaba ye da sepa.
Oje da se.
Apombo kwade.
Nyamia domo, pato mo je.
Nyamia dom ene mpaibo ye ho ye. Ayi enkomo ya ba minim se wate bi. Efa no abedweko a ye te se wonhwe na constitution wo mu akiri. Na adwento ato amu na mudin apie mu se o. Enipa 24 na aka no yenyi ma emebunu ene sebe enipa sebio mejima no siye. Wo mu ni pedua na kwa bebi atochema. Mukuo no moje ne sen.
Dama ganga to lady.
Pacho wonu a ye mira.
O to matiu.
Watch him in term fam do.
Yo me da to papa to my friend da mo to pa. Yeti se yeti sa committee president one of the executive kono. Yeti pa. Yeti de papa na lisi se ebinumu kan kiki against the woman do na emayo. Ana was not president the custom. Was it 24? Persons with disability, a man and a youth. Now, all better than they can't be. And they have been papa, you bought President Abasu. In fact, I'm saying, could they ever ask to write and support that declaration, you know, and that's the time, you know, President Eddie Mayen. A man now, the man, persons with disability opportunity, over so much of parliament. What charging? Yes, you can. Online, a man bad. It is a year, I'm not to say, I'm not to be able to say, if you want. Not air, I said, you're in Colombiana. Your both presidents are Pastor Papa, when you're coming to you. No, the Akan. Your best friend said, got a name, and then to open cell. I just, you know, I bet that will be out. That will be a cafe, and then they encounter no, so if you make out to be the watchman. But that will be a. It is the president that has power. Yes, a man, papa. Yes, you come. Now you go mine in governance, you governance. You want to have him here. Say, woman does do, now it's the woman does do, you can't need. one for parliament out that yes here now. It's a Gandaka about show. Yes, I president as a papa. The best say Ghana man. Say almost supported idea, a very good idea. And look at global community never said, Ghana man or minor, almost dream, or more, a fan. It will enhance the image of the country. Nothing is going to change the arena that I think the end of the county. Until you get to your poor president of party, and I bought a financial party. Say, all of my staff premium. The best way Ghana to say, almost 40 years. Not only is the being president, no one, and male, not a man, any youth, any president of Britain, and work and endorse of Parliament House. Then you actually ask them, they want more money.
Aye, President ye, wadama number ni so na 24 na eye de mamo. E na nyame ya adom na ye chicha, ye ncha ne se ma eka ho, mebunu ka ho. E na sebe ye so a wadaroma ye didem kakra we nipadua na kwa ye so ye ka ho. Ye nchicha ne se.
Oh, se sia de, ye se ni na France. Se sia ni kwa mu tumi enka. But when you are France ya, ema youth when you are France ya, ene Constitutional Review Committee implementation. In that case, after my check, am I going to way disability move number way, a man move number way, you to move number way. Now, print here, you want to make ink. Now, when you make a can't constitute you have given it check. You have dear president, and that's the cabinet, Japan, AIG, Papa. You're born a passion. You mean, so on the green. That's president of the state. Almost so money. Almost cut a loss to a loss to. Yes, the medical can. Yes, can learn. It is a president of my fire. Yes, you can walk my can walk by no. I am Papa.
You, ye ja kra mu wakono beyond say ye nsachire we e dia mamono. E dia biom na mu hwe nim tichu ne amanyosem sanse. Ye hwe Ghana amanyosem a ye hwe dan hu mu pi wom. Ha mo.
After na make and you can hear president where the account of Marco Branch as I can get. It's not that. It's not without that. It's a kind of almost to create gears. Almost say a better one. And I'm maybe a question. It's a president, you're not doing my opinion. What was to there? As I am, say a town man. Yeah, man back. You did them well. You're too in Juliana. You're not going to hope you are now. As you say, you did them when into what you have to say, Fabio or Tina, a bit near to one. Young look at a young dog meal. You want to tell me what young dog meal. A permanent a bit too meal. A bit too crazy. A bit too could watch now. Into what look at the Debbie or Tina 2 Fabio, I mean, Pengu, there are 2 I don't let it. It's a higher. But Mr. Family, now mean that president the benefit of you. Oh, I never be a man, the main boss in that one. Yes, we can through digital education for students with disability. Oh my young man, to say your talk, you're going to get free. Number 2, to see minister of education and the president. Oh, I'm making get fund. To say get fund to me, my scholar 100 million this year. I will be supporting children with disability in basic schools. Oh my, number 3, oh my increases. The president is disability fund and the 3%. President Midday, why increase to 5%? I want to share my young people of disability at the assembly. Up to number 12 to today. I don't want your talk number 1 to 7 hours. That's number 3. Number 4. Disability is doing more and all that are not meant to be and they will impossible to see a cabinet. You need to the proposal kata, you need to know pasaka, the parliament, number pasama. That's number 4. Number 5, President last year or president or more 5% quota for employment. The CSI you need to employment as discussed, as go that usable blueprint. Soon as they are on the system agency, number 5. You don't know what you mean. You see, number 5 to see our bay, or I have a position you so have a campaign of 60. It's all my idea, papa. Oh, my celebrity, oh, Julia. If you get down at the thing, I mean, strong. If I Ghana put my Ghana for me, I said, oh, because no nation can develop if that nation fails to carry its vulnerable people. That nation was me, I'm more making them, or a young one. And that nation of mine continue to me. Because then I can't be.
President Yadase ene obre President ya wada Ghana Federation of Disability Organization Yera Joseph Achu and your call ya ne ko bom komo.
Now Institute for Energy Security IES in Penny for say Mampeni komo ya wonam kitahudie bofotene so ede aba beto dwase diesel yen hwan sa 2 Ghana cedis per liter no emfri ho no omoji tum papa na ne kwan so a eno no wo se ababra esene fatamu esanse sa brei omamuna de hye wa hoyehiem ede fa diesel ne bo no a ekosoro ne titu se de esi hwiri na emunumunu ne ho de firi adwadie man enhyehyede no emu ye kon Institute for Energy Security IES wonjumedie mu a Senior Research and Policy Analyst Ayora Smith Boahin was hwe PC ni say na no IES mpani 14 komobi na wo mo nkomo na sa abre wenye nru ho ntia me se Ghana fo bi antiase wo mo chance di nkomo se aban no ehwe se emprempen wode ne ho bewura fango adwumadie no emu otondo do di gu ebeboa yen na afi ebra emu adin se no wo him di aba na aka ho bi amabo na wasanka ekoso no eso ate wo mo san so kan editor to se aban no hwe se ebra ko animu yi fango ne bo no obe bibi ede afa ho na se kan nyina begu o mamu na de hye so sa ya na ahomtia dodo wo se san wo mo kan na anu yi ye ni nti mampani susu ehunu se ebo ne koso nti waba be yi sa 2 Ghana edi every eye diesel no so per liter no eye papa na kire se de IS kano mampani wate ne wachichichi ene wagina so edi etu eye anamon wase empremprem o kan che omamon adehye se de emema keka de koinu eye asem papa ene mampani edi aba no na ebeboa so ama empremprem kan wo yehia no a amwamu no adehye ne titu ne adraba fa won kan no diesel no to di gum ko mbe komo no de mampani aye ebehwe na hwan bi enso de afro ne mom eni se so we ya eso.
For the short term, say measure, but in the long term, policy direction like this, I'm more industry, in the long term. We can also say whether to see this cushioning here between me and Bohan. Yes, we share that I buy a Tesla and I buy a subsidizing is mainly manufacturing and production use and also heavy vehicles and in most of the trotros we use, we should say directly and indirectly. It will go a long way in terms of the cost of buying products in the country. But in the long term, senior market, are too exposed to international pricing trend. Determine higher prices. They wouldn't say have a policy shift to it.
Ora Smith Boahin say ade ne ba ko a ha adwen wachi ye se ye ko adwadie man ne so ye nim edakro portin ya ebedru ya enefango ne bon eba beba fom eba be kosuru biompo achen de we ana se bre bi bedru a eso ba be hwan to obisa ye ho se de aban ya so mu kakran obetimi aso mu akwakodru empempen so ben
22 the same issue Russia Ukraine. Of course, 2024, and then Iran and Israel, and also it's the same problem we are having. Say, the fuel cost, it is air cost. In fact, and indeed, it has obviously reflected. We had the current pricing window. Yeah, a difference of plus 1 cedi 79 pesos for that of gasoline, and now plus 2 cedis for difference for that of current pricing window and the last price. Before then, we had the last pricing window now. Not the difference in do 1 cedi for diesel, and then I'm 60 pesos, and then I'm 35 pesos for petrol. But we had this jump now, so cost will be big.
Nipa atene kan yedru aye Institute for Energy Security IES wonjumedie ma we Senior Research and Policy Analyst ewo Ora Smith Boahin na one yen sencho ne Prince Banfa Samoa enedi nkomo
a former Deputy Attorney General Alfred Yeboah na or describe former Attorney General Godfrey Yeboah damese panwa ben pa onimade se ena unimadwuma nso adwuma de se ne nsa obesom ya ye adwuma me ka se oho nipanie ena nam se oye adwuma se ne deputy nti onya experience bebre ɛna papa yi bɛyɛ attorney general no nso yɛka so obi yɛ subsena ɔdɛm koropɛ baabi a ɔbɛkɔ biara yɛnnya ne sɛ so ɛna wɔyɛ obi a wode adwuma ahyɛ ne nsa nso a ɔtumi yɛ adwuma no ara ma yɛka sɛ ɛho adwuma no wayɛ ama no aboro suo sei adwuma nso ɔyɛ adeɛ paa ɛna ɛberɛ a wɔwɔ office nso na wɔmfa ne time nni agorɔ time bɛso na wɔwɔ hɔ time bɛso na wɔwɔ hɔ time wɔsɛ so wɔpɔn so na wɔapɔn na wɔkɔ fie na wɔakɔ akɔgyina home ɔduru fie a nsa na aduane wɔ hɔ nom a wɔadidi ahohoro ne nsa nsa na wɔasɔ tv na wɔagyina home aside that nso wɔayɛ adwuma no atento experience bebree nti ɛnnɛ ɛberɛ a kokurokɔ dwumadie kɔ soɔ na na yɛ ɔkasa tena mu no nkɔmmɔ twitwe bi nie
gofre dame oye nipa o nim fonso ne so tan kwadu a na we ni meka oye nipa baako a me ye adwuma ona say so hard working. And I'll tell you something today. Gofre dame no di machi 1 year as my junior or law school obi no di machi o but me tuche emano enam kwan of faso appreciate mra ene kwa faso ye na adwuma case ni sha say 2019 that time when I attorney general na nye gofre dame
Gloria
yedi asem until 2021 am me dwane ye no na prosecution afre almost 7 almost a close case until July 2021 that time no na after gofre dame about office as so adwuma ni na first one and the first term of MP enti no okaso ye ya nye adwuma yi na ye den
the say okase ye former deputy attorney general Godfred Alfred Tiayeboa na no ati no watere say court of appeal asam no a odi ya Sedina Tamakro okase nya no no wa moa wo manfo okra
court of appeal say na okano last week on my judgment on my judgment so much say maame no ya gya no kra me court of appeal enya adwen enne me mo nya adwen ochina be say ye kokota asehye any project pa say judgment abai ye ka say manage na ya nhwe yi a de kira ne say utiminya adom na Ghana fo ma mampanyi ka say kotre ko bia no ewo aban mu a de obaya ne say obayire hu na wadiska kese pa case e sha say 2019 a course on to 2024 a case state prosecutors in yamre e dia dance mu edu e kokko the dance for enson nipa son no obi e dia dance wade ba ko na mienu bi ho entu bi sa de meka ne se court of appeal no mo nya adwen o man hwe nkrata no mu yie
the thing say o kase o ya former deputy attorney general Alfred Tiayeboa kokroko dwumedie so abra nana ya kase tena ase ene wone ne nkomo twetwe bie ene se aboma ye tiefu atibi
Adia ba kwa tete Ghana for ye eye illegal mine no galamsey no aban betena so no wa hye ase etu anamopi na bi ene se ne 9 months for ye adwuma sa so ena blue water guard for na sane be ya wane a eye galamsey betwe ho afiri ho nti Ghana ban se nei what the cooperative mining scheme no ediaba ebeboa pa enti eba ne sa ne de dodo mebunu no jai gala ne ye na bra na afi cooperative mining fe na fa ho ehyemu bi na aban ne kan ne se no obia gusu a wo say ni age Ghana ban aya ade dodo senior fellow was sanso mining consultant ewo Africa policy lens yebra engineer wisdom gomashi wate no say Ghana baye mesrewo aban kireche mu kire ye cooperative mining na wo ka ho asem no etese yankasa ene ya ye kase dodo sen pa na mwesi esi honom ediama Ghana for pese wote ase yesanse na no woto ne bo ase tie bra na ye kenkan budget no 2026 budget wotie mu okay na no so kra minister no wo kenkan ba kofa no media review budget no so wotie senior Dr. Kesla to ba forsen nya abotre no wo chirechire mu na engineer gomeshi wode sansam nyina to dwabra na woni peace kasia body nkomo no say Jojo say nya abotre nti America ne say na no November 2025 na presentation na ekoso no 2026 budget no asema na Ghana ba wo kanyina ne tia watwam nyina ne say cooperative mining scheme no miensa no wo sie na so bra na July 2026 wa film wo tie mu a media review budget ya no wo tie minister na sema wo kan so ne ya ye kase cooperative mining scheme ni say ba ko pe na Ghana ban wasie no wosen engineer Gomashi si we di atwetwe aso nti wosre Ghana ban won kire mu yi ankasa wo manfo ntiminti ase.
Yes, share 2026 budget statement. The Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, STT, in the budget statement said, Oma established cooperative no miensa. Bakuwa Telekobo Kazo, our Western region. Bakuwa Bibieni, and Bakuwa Obuase. The last week, the Finance Minister, Esanko presented mid-year to 2026 mid-year budget review. Now, in that budget statement, I say no establishing the first cooperative mining scheme or at Kotoku. And to share 3 different statements. 2026 budget, almost say Oma Biemiansa, RTI, almost say Oma Biebako. Media budget, so to say Oma Biebako, a different chain, the above both in the RTI and the main budget. In the say, Mupai Gibi Yadeng and Kosuo baby.
Engineer Manesi one man wo bisa Ghana buying sentisi ano cooperative mining dodo se wo pese wo hunu dodo se bia na ba na chire mesi ba ko o mesi mienu de yate ase afebra mu sie ne enipa dodo sen na afo mu adwumam sika dodo sen so no mine ye de awura mu sei en nsemisa
the APL the friend say ye te say you cooperative no dodo say na o ma establish e mebu say na afa adwuma nipa say na o metumi ye free illegal mining mu sika dodo say na o ma spend it.
Senior fellow Sanso ye mining consultant Ewa Africa Policy Lens ye ra engineer Wisdom Gomashi Sanso mo nyina George say ene de besum yen
ye jinamo ewo Kumasi Asante Mantam na mantam na ena no ni eyonumonyan for Dr. Frank Amwakohene wakasa ya woka de ache ene chief directors and afi regional coordinating directors ageko eye mensin emu a opani ya oho na hye ye wo eye adwuma edifise wo sra wo ada wo fa no kredie ena afi ayemuye enye wo adwuma na ebeboa emampuntuo no ya bra no bran mpanifo di emu nkomo no wo so chefa ewo mu no akoso yi ewo mantam ena afi mensin ahodo mu se ukokuma Asante Mantamu empenifo ayenhyehyede ahodo ewo ahodwo Kumase wo brekro na odi dwumadie bi ahyehye so yekon eye nkronkumenkuma emamuomu a empenifo won ti hyase ya won dwumadie no ema won ho kwan se wo so won chefa ewo oman Ghana yedie yempuntuo fam no onhwemfa nya adwuma sabre no chief directors and afa regional coordinating directors ahodo na won ho energy Dr. Frank Amakohene ene wo mu edi nkomo wo se hwe oman Ghana so onya kwan na wo so oman no a na echese wani afi echese mpempenso a waduru no usi gina yema wo ho a eyeyie enye obi ankeke na enya akoda e de ne kokodie eye obi a wanyini a ekase o bebia waduru die usi gina yema ho a eyeyie echese usa nipa no yesi oman no egina ye ne ye de o ka ho a wo so adwensu esan no wo de ya na ehu hia pa eni nti na on sre wo mo se ye komantam ne ye komensi na se ne ye kase soafo bi ya wo mantam no enhwe mampuntu enko a soafo no nko ya enyeye mensi ne kache pani nko ya enyeye nemom chief directors and afa regional coordinating directors muka ho bi enti muso ya mudi nokre moma mo niema mu enna ho momfo otu ho ache enya adwuma monya yemuye se ne be ya mon katakata niema so emuomu aso na moye ne sa empuntuo na ye hwehwe no man no ensabeka.
Public institutions do not become effective by chance. They become effective because dedicated men and women provide leadership. They uphold standards and inspire confidence. Chief directors occupy that important space. They are the professionals anchors of the regional coordinating councils. They ensure that national policies become practical results and improve lives of our people. In the Ashanti region, as I mentioned, we remain committed to excellence in governance through collaboration, accountability, innovation, and effective coordination. We recognize the indispensable role of the Chief Director in supporting our MMDAs to deliver quality service. I have had the privilege of working closely with my Chief Director and the dedicated staff of the RCC, and their professionalism demonstrates the critical contribution of public service leadership to regional development.
Nipa yetene nkan Asante Mantam no wono ene nanu ni onumanyamfo Dr. Frank Amwakohene akoda nyame ene wo frɛ no wa manwesemo na wo se adwumadie no ase no ena Professor Lord Kwaku Mensa wo head of local government service wono so editu dwase we chief directors na nsade bi ha mo ene yesamode amanwesem ewura mu dwumadie mu no entinei ne wo chief director anase de wo regional coordinating director amoti apataba akwasa mpanifo ni mudi nkomo wo so sere mu kwai momfa amanyosem enkorura mu dwumadie mu
You have been appointed to an office that the law describes with unusual precision. If you care to look at the references, I'm just going to quote. Section 21F of the Civil Service Act 1993 obliges a chief director to initiate plans that accelerate decentralization of the sector. Decentralization is therefore not the private business of one ministry. It is written into the job description of every chief director here. Section 93 treats chief directors and coordinating directors, regional and district, as one cadre. Regard yourselves the same way, because the failures our people complain of occur in the space between ministry and an assembly.
Nipa in Kenya, one on a head of local government service, Professor Kweku Mensa Lord, no. Near Dukumasa Santa Mantamwa, Asantema will row. The scienti, and Penifo Jana Nemo Ashese, near one more Kenyan so no, Asantema Ebejinamono Muso Swini be sans and Punto Koya, a Koye Edema, and Penifo Winina, Asafo Hine, Achamfo, Asafo Boache, Ajema Bunsu, Edway, Akan.
Sir, we share a memoir. Ghana, your structures idea, Juma. Our local government service, any civil service now. A engine of governance. Sir, a member coordinate policies, beba, or the bar. If one, a policies no actually, Juma. Yes, sir, and Crawford. You also find it. We have the same speech in Munzwa. It can be busy. They should find a blend. Somebody on which me a blended politics, any administration. And I'm saying, before we be politically right, no, they should make sure say administrative, no. You are right, because se bibiba and the ombet media defend your mohono administrative tools and I'm running at the idea of my Juma or my
Nipa in Kenya Chamfo Asafo Boache Ajema Bunsu or no any Asafo Hine Sansemi and Central Nipeni or Wokumasa Santamantamo Samson Kenya Meche and Afe Paulo Usu and Edisumie.
Na Ghana National Council of Private Schools aye nakops and womukase womutrese BC resort to a buy placement ya womuye no aye enhwehwanim placement pa womu a ekọ aban school no public schools no ene yakọhwe bebi a yaso a wonum aguo womu de ayesa dadaba kama say ya ye place wonum nyina fine na bra woni peace news kasa no ena National Executive Director Emana Kopse Obenfo Nana Kwesi Detua en watchere se wo mama private school for no kroma bra boy aye yase private school a obi anim se eba no performance e wo basic education certificate examination a wo mu na ya ade wo ma ben pa tinye bie ne ho wo mbekwa akotro bi yi no resort to Babaka Sankwale Inco School. Uma ko school so kama akwa akwaji adesua yen nyina yenim efre tetentre de besinne saa na tie entina de ba ne sai enna private schools for ebre say entimpanimfo nse na ade no mo nte no pepepe
no more, I hear he says, I'm divided by near 30%. And now back up public school, the man 30% now about private school, only the man of percentage be a fan count. And then extra seminar, you could do as in India, and the no castle, yes, you are, get about 15%. I said, Mofa, yes, and more who are doing your money with your cost over now, you keep 2 or more, and I say, I'm more beer, and about 5 or 1 day, a man grade 9, or math, grade 9, English. Meanwhile, also was submitting 30% of the cumulative records at the court. In the one trans on Yamano 9, near Cotron, so Yaman 9, now in Tasia, you will and anything. I know that young woman is said, but dear Edru, as I say, a custom now a buying it here.
Nanwatina Obenfo Nana Kwesi Detua say, Radia Adme Fiada Council Nubesia. Womusia womu the petition bakwa koma Minister of Education.
Ya yen kata nyina kradwa na me ya adoma isi adanso ya be man Minister for Education eno no eye petition ahoro a ya say minister say on committee na omo hwehwe ta nsem we emu because the won say wa ya kijumadi a omu tin wo man ga na emu a omu ni any regulator bia omo respond to omo anaso omu ya omu jumadi ni omu ko to omo ni omu hwehwe omu jumadi a omo ye den omu die mu.
The say or Kase your Benfunana Kwesi Jetia Esther Usua Labi.
Ma Yantua Caseboy Sophia Nichim was and for Frostway. Your friend ACP Alexander Kwekubin within a Juma head of research, education, and training at our MTTD. No penny neka say, Nancy Wadi to Janse Ane Nano. I guess Bosmini de Dikawa Fimu, and now was Shas yes, would to Anamobi. Ne share best 9,956. And ye jina almost same. A bit the necessary no to me be any home. Now he'll be car park and kitwebia omwade ya portwa. Or this siren dear bia one safata say, ye bet me ejina na so and a bit headlight, a bit so cry dear. A ye LED. Near to near see and no when she we been timpany for just yen to me remasan yen intimate cosum. Na SCP being what the sun some waking out to Jabra. Now one piece cassia ball 18 common dia work and say nay dear one more share say manchia bia or my gun and we are better nafe and brabatan yet media ye juma na a quine so ascent so dian casa we shenkenia wait me a dish super pepper send you see a team. Sisi and waboko way a commercial for near what can I say we be on my na one kasa okura wani tua na reshe bi te se vit nkitwe bi na de sare na bo ho ensem fata Ghana mrakura na ema sa kwan no na light no so wonim se wo ye shenkani a ya hye da kire mo light ahodo bi edi mo se fata ese obe yuso bi wo ho no a o ka kire na anka na mfo won fa ho kura LED bi ne eto wani a fufuo no wo ba pa no wo to hwe wani mu a say you face me I face you and hey Akan na wo kwa koto achi na wa kire sasafo nyina nyame ya adom na Ghana mraso opeti obehwem na wani wo edim wato so enei ne dia wo kan say Ghana say dia mrabata no ye wo nwuma hodo bi a siren say nyame ya adom betimi atobi na dia ya ho ne ebisa so eye ho amosa na osum ebi ti say Ghana police service wo mo de ende wo betimi de siren dia bo ho sa so na yarsabia ambulance no o mampeni na afeso na bedi ekire afi Bank of Ghana bullion no so kranum wo sa kwan ne se sirens no obetimi de bia bo ho na emum wasre wankasa wutie ye na wie we kase bopono so wani tua se ehyen no siren no yenye ntumu a wose ne ya anya abotre na tutufiri onya sa pa de ne wo msa so opechi a wo no obeko ahye
yeshasi as at first August ya kra na ehyen mako ye gina won ayi won kanea any won menta no sirens any unlawful strobes and beacon lights and then unlawful lamps no na 9,956 as at first August na ni nyina ne say asodin ho entimefa wakonye so akyere say as review say emrane ma obi akwan gise wa oye head of state ene na powerful no ye adwuma ene ahyen aban omaga na ato awde ene adwuma ene wo say this sarin ene beacon light ship ene Ghana babofo enyuma ene o powerful ene won yes adwuma no won na wo say won di bi ship ene Ghana Health Service ene wa powerful ene ahyen friend ambulance ene health emu public ene private on di adwuma boy ye ya pomuden hu hihye hu
ACP Obiama Nancy one man was way a kokobo anu odin wode ko ediama mu amuye adwuma ministries no ebi metropolitan municipal district agencies na asefo wo ko a ene asofo binom ebi ene se me bie medwuma nti e wo mfa mra anya hwe saafo nyina monka ho sirens no monka ho tunim se ebi bo ho a ene ya tu na tu hofo
say we adwuma o ministry department agency undum ko fa banka empa bi nhyem we adwuma o metropolitan municipal and district assembly undum ko fa ban sika anase common fund bi nkototo side ni hye banka mu emra ma ho kwan anase me ohene undum ko fa paramount ni sika ni bi paramount na me de fragasi so anase me osofo ma ko fa ye tight any offering now the bi ashish akoto slope line ni sare na de bi ashim now say me de nam anam ye businessman anam ye director general ada appointing me for ibia me na me ye oga wonti mafa ban sika ni bi e de bi akoto sare ashim any light no debi mra ma ko anti mo sa no say wote me ni a e bi hye oka mu ayi na anti sa ye bi kwa mu a obeto ya e be yi
ACP Obensha says wo ye ncheche dia ma omanfo nyina se ye wo kwan ya obefa so na for headlight no wo dia bia ka nanim wusi amanfo dia ase wo betu ani na esi wono pompom face aso na ebi dia ne se light no wanim se light we mu ana so ye den wo so obeyusu wo sesafo nyina no ye nsa so opechi a Ghana mra ene obedi
Emrasi, the boka one. I was a windscreen asi. Below the windscreen, below the base of the windscreen. Below the base, can asiho. A one near the headlamp, backward left, backward right, near and offside. And you who say can be the light and abu can up and pump. It's Yamra, who saw not to ubiani, no de question. And we be any lighter. Yes, I using the fee. If any LEDs. And ya can ya crowd, and your motor can ya cry. Or Duman Kuma Dum Ghana, or was so yeswa, any and Krabata or Ghana ha, one day, a bar VK parts importation, or many young one dear pa, or Quabo so kind, Mazi, or more crack, car lights, come, or car be light or Kotobi.
Your friend ACP Alexander Kwekubin would win it chemu ewa post for Juma would do MTT the say away penia wada research education officer training and no and why and church way at the amash and kafoni will be bia will use so and she sans in a Caleb could do a day and a troya what day ever soon again.
FM. So wakoma ho hyehyew ana ebo periperi de broni kan hardware no a ede na se woye na se woyam so atim so
wo be pack na farmer Martin's liver salt akira kwai entem ahwie nsu agu glass mo ate Martin's liver salt no ba ko no na wo de agum
wo be hu se ehuru wa glass ni mu na wanom Martin's liver salt ye won orange flavor ana ba ko so ye plain
wonumu a ho beto na mum edi na anu na ho nto wo a ko hu doctor.
Peace FM.
Tune it in, turn it up,
Peace FM,
and rip off the knob.
Yama yetifo akwa bakase bonwesi. Amansan chiame kwabena mafo ena.
Ohene wa kase bo ahene na afi.
Nana ama anotifo. Adeshima wadama NTNU. Eno ani ebo ne don comedy achi sense network ne so aye nika se ye go esim why o MTN network no ho anu enya message bi ye de sa link ne ma wo na abo so a e do be fa process ne mo na wanka so register na wo sim na ba be ye esim no go seamless ne no akoso aye o calls ne wo data services so nyuma adamenti ene nya ho de sika sem from wadam awie ye de prem to prekase no esomo ya ma wa ha e ma mo anitia adehye.
Peace FM. Peace FM. Peace FM. Peace FM.